have you ever thought how it feel like to have Division 1 striker in Division 2? Now, I did have that thought in my mind previously, but I completely discarded that thought because you know why? Division 1 striker is just too good. That 6-piece classified striker is so good. Once you make it, you can clear any content all by yourself, like legendary missions, or was it like incursion, or even farming in resistance. If you're a Division 1 player, then you know exactly what I'm trying to say here. Now, Division 2 striker is not bad. The damage is really good. However, it lacks the survivability. And that's exactly what I'm trying to fix here with this build. Now, there's countless amounts of striker builds exist on YouTube. Plus, also, I myself made a lot of them in the past. So all I have to say is that if they don't nerf striker to the ground, I guess we're going to just keep on making it and milking it. Yay. But don't worry, this is not your typical striker build, which, it's like a DPS meta striker build. This is a build for solo players where it has a lot of healing. Some might say it has too much healing, but then I would say there's no such thing as too much healing or, too much damage. So if you're a solo player and doesn't have any friends, like me, I mean, I have one friend who barely shows up sometimes. But anyways, you get what I mean. So you will be having a lot of fun playing with this build, whether it's a legendary mission, which I'm of course showing you over here. I've been trying to make this build for like over 5 months, so I do have some old season footage which I'm going to show you just for the sake of it. I also did master difficulty content with this because previous season I did not play master. I just didn't have the time to do all the scouts, so I waited for it to become legacy mission, which I did it like 2 days ago with my friend because we both needed that exotic chest piece, so it was a breeze there. And also playing this season's legendary mission with the new modifiers and stuff, so it is just too easy to play with it, to be honest. It's just so good. The synergy is really awesome and the healing is just too much. Like if you're a Division 1 player coming back and playing Division 2, or you're like a returning player, or you're just a new player who's just tired of dying, I guess, you heard striker is meta somewhere or everywhere because it's everywhere, and then you made it and then you're just dying left, right, and center, this will probably keep you alive. Just try it with the heroic first and then go to legendary, because it's clearing legendary with ease, so heroic is just, it's a joke. It is a joke. It's just so powerful. Now, before I show you the build, there's one thing I want to mention. The specialization doesn't matter that much. It depends on what you like to use, but I would recommend 2 specialization or 3 specialization. One is gunner for that 10% armor on kill. Second is firewall specialization for striker shield to increase your damage, because striker shield does improve your damage like 12%, or like depends on the mods you have per enemy though. So if you have 2 enemies, it's like 24% weapon damage, which is nice. So you can use that, and you also get the armor kit that heals like crazy. So yeah, or you can use technician specialization for laser pointer if you're trying to pulse your targets by just pointing at them. So these are the 3 specialization I would recommend. Now, without any further ado, let's get into the build, and also let's talk about the modifiers. Now, speaking of modifiers, like the modifiers, you can choose whatever you want in active modifiers. Like I was using the tactical supremacy over here, mainly because of the passive modifiers, effect that increased by 100%. So whenever I activate this, whatever passive modifiers have slotted basically gets double the benefit, and you can actually enhance this, like expand the timer pretty much, like whenever you get kills. So pretty much stays all the time if you just keep kill chaining it. However, you can also use the overdrive modifiers, because if you're not in the later stage of the journey mission, you may not have this one unlocked already, because this is probably the last one you unlock it. But overdrive, you can just get straight up like very early on. So you can just use this, and whenever I activate this, you're going to gain pretty much like max momentum. So you're going to hit that unstoppable stage, so you'll get even more damage and stuff. Plus the overdrive modifiers will also give you more damage, like 30% weapon damage, rate of fire as well, and unlimited ammo. We don't care about the skill damage here because it's not a skill build, but yeah, you get all of this stuff. Now, it does say that after the overdrive modifier ends, your momentum gains are reduced by 70% for 150 seconds. That's not a huge deal because you can easily counter that with your passive modifiers. And speaking of passive modifiers, we're using these ones. So the one of them is the critical momentum, which again, it's going to counter your overdrive's cooldown timer basically, because whenever you crit, you have a 40% chance to gain 1% of momentum, which may seem low here, but whenever you crit, which is pretty much all the time, you're gonna get activate. Like you can activate this very easily. Like you have to use this. This is like a must use pretty much. And same goes for the critical recovery here. Whenever you crit, you're gonna get like regen. So pretty much regen on demand. Whenever you shoot, you fire, you're critting, you're getting healing back with this. And if you're using the tactical supremacy, you're gonna double the effects of this, which is honestly pretty stupidly strong, okay? Now, the third one is mostly like a flex one. You can slot whatever you want here, but I chose more healing because I was doing legendary content, so why not? So I was using the reactive reinforcement here, which also heals you. So when your shield takes damage, you get healed. There's a 10-second cooldown, but it's not that long. And as for other modifiers you can use over here, something like fortified shield, to increase your shield health. You can use microwave coils, just to kind of crowd control the enemies, because, when you pulse them, they'll burn, so they're not shooting back at you. So that's nice. You can also use Reaper Scan if you want to get more blacklisted enemies. But honestly, I just chose the reactive for more healing because more healing is nice, All right, now coming back to the build. So this is the build right now, as you can see here. Now it may look a bit weird. I know there's somebody already typing in the comment section, where is my Sheshka? Where is the Sheshka chest piece? Where is the striker backpack? Where is my memento? Relax. This is not your typical striker build, which is like the meta striker build everybody runs around. This is a fun build for a solo player that you can do the content by yourself, because you don't have any friends. So yeah, I'm trying to be your friend here, because I myself play solo most of the time, and I already told you that this can clear all the content that there is to clear for a solo player easily. You can do that with this without an issue. And plus, we have the damage and the survivability. I always say if you can survive anything, you can kill anything. So you have to keep that in mind. Okay, survivability is key, and this is what's giving us that survivability. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about the weapon here first. Now, this one was coming. It is Lexington here. There's a reason why this is here. There's many other weapons you can use, the alternatives. I'll give you that. Don't worry about it. And I'll also, explain the benefits of using other weapons. Like the Lexington, the reason why I have it, because most people have this weapon as a god roll, because that's how they gave us with the damage to target of cover. And the talent you can change to whatever you want, and I chose Preservation. This is pretty much a mini Foundry Bulwark, a makeshift repair talent inbuilt to this thing. Like, yeah, it's that good. You know how strong Foundry Bulwark's regen is? Like, especially the makeshift repair, when you get shot, you heal. Pretty much similar amount of healing, just like the makeshift repair, which is a lot of healing, to be honest, because whenever you get a kill, you get 10% armor repaired over 5 seconds. If you get a headshot kill, which you should be getting most of the time, that's what you should be targeting. You get 20% armor repaired over 5 seconds, and that's like Foundry Bulwark territory. If you don't believe me, I'm gonna just go and show you the Foundry Bulwark right now here. I'm not afraid. There you go. See, look at this. Whenever you or your shield takes damage, 25% of the armor is repaired over 10 seconds. So that's Foundry Bulwark, where the talent here tells you that 20% of the armor will be repaired over 5 seconds. If you get a headshot kill, that is. So it's pretty much a mini Foundry Bulwark right there in your talent. So, if you just keep getting these kills chaining with this talent, you're not gonna die because it just heals you too much. Plus, don't forget your modifiers are healing you too at the same time. And the build itself has regen. This is not like a build without the regen. It is a regen build. So you see how much healing you have, okay? So that's one of the reasons why I'm running Lexington. Plus, also the reason is that it gives me that Division 1 feeling, because Lexington, come on. Like, it's a nostalgia feeling, okay? So that's also the reason why I have it. Now, you can also use your good old favorite St. Elmo's engine. Yeah, you could do that. You can absolutely use this if you don't have the Lexington. I know not everybody has the Lexington, okay? So you can use the St. Elmo's here. You can also use Eagle Bearer. Eagle Bearer is absolutely amazing with this as well, because the RPM increase is going to happen with the momentum and the striker. It's already 978, as you can see here. Plus, it also has a higher max size and really good base damage and stuff. And also the Eagle Strike, the Tenacity talent will be amazing too to keep you alive. You just have to get 3 kills and that's it. And you're going to be surviving with the weapon talent itself as well. There's too much survivability if you just use Eagle Bearer. Now, you can also use Chameleon here. Chameleon is too strong, but you need to be in a close combat range with this. The moment the Adaptive Instinct talent procs, yeah, everything is dead, because you see, this gives you 90% of weapon damage, like 6 pieces worth of weapon damage. That is the amount, that's the amount of damage you're going to get from this. Plus, you get crit damage too, with like 50%, and crit chance, which you're going to be capping. We don't care about that. We'll already have a maxed out crit chance on the build, so that's not a problem. But yeah, you get tons of damage with this thing. So if you're running, let's say, a heroic and you're doing that run and gun kind of play style, use Chameleon there. Just absolutely blast through the content. But if you're playing legendary, I wouldn't recommend Chameleon all the time. Eagle Bearer, St. Elmo's Engine, Lexington will be a good choice. Now, if you want to use the Preservation Talent, you'd absolutely need a high-end weapon. For that, if you don't have the Lexington, use any weapon you like. I'm going to give you a quick, like an example, the weapon that you can use as a high-end for new players or turning players. Like if you have any weapon, any assault rifle from 750 RPM to 850 RPM, use that. Because when you build that with this build and you get that RPM increase from Striker and the momentums, I mean, you know, the modifiers and stuff like that, you're gonna do quite a lot of damage. And the lower RPM weapon has higher base damage, and if you increase the RPM of those weapons, they're gonna hit like a truck. Okay, so if you have any weapon, any assault rifle that you like, whether it's AKM, you know, FAMAS, or like, you know, Police M4, you know, you can use those weapons with the Preservation Talents. Not a problem. You're not just getting locked into Lexington. I'm using this because I have it, and also it gives me that Division 1 vibe, which is pretty much the theme of the build. So it's like Division 1 Striker, right? Now, as for the build, I don't think I have to explain what Striker can do because I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Striker can do, but I'll show you my stats here. I mean, Striker does give you that weapon handling, rate of fire, and that Striker gamble stacks. Basically, just shoot your weapon and you'll do more damage, right? Now, for the mask, I have weapon damage, crit damage, and crit chance mod here. For the gloves, I have weapon damage and crit damage. For the knee pads, I have weapon damage and crit damage. So that's my 3-piece Striker, but Ninja is the backpack that I'm using, the Ninja Messenger backpack, which is making my Striker a 4-piece Striker. So that's why I have the Ninja here with 6% of crit chance as the attribute, the mod, basically. Now, as for the chest piece, I'm using Bellstone, no Sheshka, Grupo, or like Fenris and stuff. Yeah, I'm using, Bellstone here because 1 piece gives us 1% of armor regen, and 2 piece also gives us 10% of armor on kill. Now, since I have, Ninja, the 2 piece is also active here. So I have armor here, crit damage, crit chance, and crit damage as a mod with the Obliterate Talent. Pretty typical here, but just using the Bellstone chest piece instead of Sheshka or like, Grupo or like Fenris or something like that. Now, as for the holster, I'm using a Golden Gear holster, which I don't care about the 10% status effect here. It's just the 2-piece set bonus is what I need. So that's 1.5% of armor regen. So that's why I chose Golden here. And also I have armor here, crit damage, and crit chance. I have 1.3 million armor, which I feel is a pretty sweet spot. But if you feel like you want more armor for some reason, you can go and change one of the red cores to like blue, like armor. So that'll be like 1.5 million armor. And the more armor you have, the more regen you'll get. So if you want more regen as a passive regen, you can get that. With this, we also have passive regen. Plus the talent, like I said, the preservation, when you get the kill, it heals you a lot. Plus we have regen from our, the momentum. I mean, the passive modifier, sorry. So we get that regen from there as well. Like there's a lot of regen. Like you're damaging enemies, you're getting regen. You're killing enemies, you're getting regen. And when you're doing nothing, just moving around, you're still getting regen. So you have regen at all the times, basically, with this build. Because, that's what Division 1 Striker used to do. When you get the stack, you get regen at all times, right? So that's the approach I'm kind of going here with that regen at the same time, because with Division 1 Striker, you'd never need to do anything. You just build up the stacks. You can do legendary contents by yourself. You can do all of those stuff by yourself in Division 1. So that's the thing I'm going, the theme I'm going here with this as well. So once I have this one set up, all I have to do is just point and shoot, and it pretty much performs as like the Division 1 Striker. So that's basically the theme here with this. I know there are a lot of people will talk about that, how they have this much damage on Striker. Why aren't you using the backpack or like Mento or like Sheshka and this and that? I know all of that. Look, I already made those Striker builds. You can go check it in my channel. Plus other content creators are also making them, so you can check them out as well. Then, there's no hate on that, so you can do that. But I'm just want to make this regen type of build because I feel like the Striker is a build which has too much damage but no survivability. So I wanted to add this because, like I always say again, if you can survive anything, you can kill anything. So if you already have this build made or like thought about it but never made it, well, you can do it now. If someone already made it, well, then that's a great thing. That's awesome, because it is a good build here. This Striker setup is awesome. It gives you that Division 1 feeling. So that's why I went for that. Now, if I show you my stats over here, right, as you can see, I have 49% of crit chance here and 117% of crit damage. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. The crit damage may seem a bit low. It is a bit low, but it doesn't matter. For Striker, we all know we get the damage from the multipliers. So the crit damage really doesn't matter that much. As for the crit chance, it's actually 59% crit chance originally and not 49%. I mean, when you get the kills, basically, which is if you kill blacklisted targets, you get 10% of crit chance and 10% of weapon handling. That's the seasonal modifiers for you. So you're basically sitting at 59% crit chance pretty much all the time, because there will be a lot of blacklisted enemies, especially when you're playing legendary mission. I mean, I've seen them, way too many of them. Those guys are out there and healing like left, right, and center, which is kind of annoying. I mean, there's a support station that is also getting that blacklisted modifiers, which I do not understand why that's the case, because that's not an enemy. That's an object. That's a support station, a healing station. Anyways, enough ranting. But yeah, like I said, the stats itself is pretty good. The build itself is pretty good. Just give it a go. You know, try it out. You'll see how well it performs. If you really wanted that Division 1 type of feeling, you know, if you're a veteran player in Division 1 and you're just starting out Division 2, or you're like returning back here or something, or you're just a new player, if you just use Striker like this, you're gonna survive. You're gonna get those healings. You're gonna get that damage. I know in some situation you might think there's too much healing, but honestly, there's no such thing as too much damage, and there's no such thing as too much healing. A lot of healing is nice. It's always welcome, okay? So be respectful in the comment section, because every time I make a striker build, I know you guys start fighting, you know, against each other, whose build is better and stuff. Like, don't do that, okay? Just enjoy and have fun. It's a video game, you know, at the end of the day, you're just here to have fun, because if you're not having fun playing a video game, then what are you doing, okay? So just be normal, or, you know, respectful, I guess, or something like that. Anyway, so that's basically for the video. If you find it helpful, if you liked it, then leave a like, you know, leave a comment, or your favorite emoji if you don't have anything to comment, because, you know, impressions and stuff, you know, to let YouTube know that I exist. So yeah, that's basically for the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.